Our buddy James says, I wake up feeling tired all the time. I just can't seem to get energy in the morning. I sleep for 9 or 10 hours, but I just always seem to wake up feeling tired. And he goes on to say that it's probably because he snoozes his alarm, and basically he'll wake up at say 6 because of his alarm. He'll then turn the alarm off, go to sleep for another half an hour, and then wake up again at 6:30. He says, why do I feel tired all the time? Why do I can never shake this drowsiness, this fatigue that I'm feeling? Well, the answer is in the question, very much so, James. Basically, what you're doing is you're interrupting your sleep cycles. So every night we have between 5 and 6 sleep cycles containing 5 sleep stages. Now, I speak about this a lot on my Lucid Dreaming channel, but I'm going to speak about it here as well because I feel like it's useful. So these sleep stages are between 1 and 5, and if you interrupt that sleep cycle, the sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes, okay? If you interrupt that process during that sleep cycle, what's going to happen is you're going to feel drowsy all day until you go back and have several other sleep cycles to make up for it. So even though you're sleeping for 9 or 10 hours, because you're interrupting your sleep cycle with your alarm, you're always going to feel tired during the day. Now, this is something that I've always struggled with. I've never really understood why this works, but this is how you can take one person who might sleep for, say, 5 hours and another person who sleeps for 10 hours, and the person who's sleeping for 5 hours can feel more awake and energized than the person who sleeps for 10. It's all to do with your sleep cycles. And it all comes back down to your circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is basically the system or the process of the sun rising and setting, and you going to bed when the sun goes down and waking up when the sun rises. You just need to get in line with that. Get in line with your circadian rhythm, and everything else will flow. Everything else will flow very naturally because your hormones and your hormonal system, your body, all of the systems in your body that are linked, connected, they will all start firing and working properly if you just get in line with when you should be going to sleep and when you should be waking up. Follow the sun. I've said this in other videos, and especially on my dreaming channel. If you just follow the sun and do what humans are designed to do, which is go to sleep when the sun goes down, wake up when the sun rises, your sleep cycles will be naturally synchronized. Now, when I say this, I don't want you to use your alarm. You should turn your alarm off. You should get into the routine of waking up when your body naturally wakes up with the sun. Harder to do if you have a job, but worth doing if you can long term, because you're going to feel so much better. The energy that you're going to get if you actually sleep for an entire night, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I assume that you have at some point. Those nights or those mornings I should say, where you just wake up feeling so naturally refreshed. That usually happens on weekends. You turn your alarm off on the weekend, you wake up feeling refreshed and energized, and it doesn't really matter how long you've slept for, but you feel like you've been sleeping for years, and you feel energized, refreshed, you've got all the motivation that you can possibly want. It's because your body let itself finish its sleep cycles without interrupting them with your alarm. Your alarm is basically going to be your worst enemy going forward. For learning how to sleep properly and to feel energized in the morning, you don't want to use an alarm. If you use an alarm, you're going to feel like crap, because your alarm typically will cut your sleep cycles in half. It doesn't really know when your sleep cycle ends and begins. It just knows what time it is. So try and shift away from using an alarm to wake yourself up, and I guarantee that you will feel better. Now, this is of course harder to do if you have a job, but you can still learn how to do this. The easiest way is just to go to bed earlier in the evening so that you'll naturally wake yourself up earlier in the morning. Start going to bed at 9 or 10, and you'll eventually synchronize your sleep cycles to end at about half 6 in the morning. Another tip is don't ever snooze your alarm. If you snooze your alarm, you're basically going to experience another broken sleep cycle. Say if you wake up at 6, your alarm has cut your sleep cycle in half, so you're going to feel a bit tired. If you then snooze the alarm and wake up again at 6:30, then all you've done is created another sleep cycle which doesn't get to finish. So you're making yourself feel even worse just by snoozing that alarm. So leave the alarm out of it. Try and synchronize yourself with the sun and your circadian rhythm, and get back into that body-mind synchronization state where you wake up on time and you feel amazing. It is possible. You just need to get in line with how your body is designed to work. Done.